Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. I am, for once, what is going on? Hold up, there we go. Okay, my game was glitching out for a second. Yeah, so here we are, back. Oh, right. I AFK'd a little bit to kind of get everything full, so that way we could move straight forward with what we were doing. Also did some, like, in my head planning. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more in depth here in a minute because I need to figure out how to get that was supposed to hit right there. Need to figure out how to fit OBS update added the record symbol to the icon when you're recording. Interesting. But we need to do rotors, modular frames, reinforced plates, and smart plating. So we have plates over there, we have screws here, so we do reinforced plates here. Send them both over there. And do reinforced plates that we're going to have to split off. Probably only really do reinforced plates and rotors with the current set. Let's go over here. Let's see how much space we actually have. Let's see. Okay, so we have space to keep going this direction. That's right, doesn't work like Minecraft. So we can keep going this direction out to get more space, but we may have to do that. Which means it may actually be better to go ahead and set up the concrete for now. Get the concrete optimized and set up as complete as possible, because we're going to have to extend out that way. I also want to get some basic quartz production done so that we can get as far along with that done. So maybe while we're setting up that and then we wait for it to fill up, we can do the quartz. We can build our platform down for quartz production. So the question becomes, do I want to do two separate concrete productions and then have them funnel into one stack of containers, or do I want to pull all the limestone this way and have it all set up right here? Because I don't entirely know if I can get it all to fit right here. Now honestly, this is going to be moved over there at some point. But the worry is I don't want to have to redo this, and I don't want to have to remove this just to be able to do it over here. So we basically got to fit it into this area. I can go ahead and rip this stuff out and just move it temporarily over there instead of having it all the way over here. That's not an issue. Let's get our numbers ready first. Hold up. Because I believe the limestone node down there is the same as this one. Okay, so let's see. 120 a minute. So that's not even optimized there, so we need to make that faster. And how much limestone does this take? 45, 120, let's see, 90, and then 30 is left over? Yeah, 30 is left over, which we can just... yeah. I don't know if I have enough power shards. I don't think I have enough power shards. I think this one does the same thing. So if this is set up the way... yeah, okay, so what may be best is do the production 1 and 1. What the hell's that sound? Is there a spitter trying to attack me? Just like right around here. Yeah, maybe a spitter down here. I don't know why there'd be a spitter underneath here. Like there may be one down there, but I don't think I'm close enough to trigger it or aggro it. Yeah, it's definitely a spitter. Is OBS even picking that up? No, it's not. Hold up. I have desktop audio all the way up, so let me try this. Where's my options? Audio. Remember, I turned it down. There we go. Yeah, you can probably hear it now. Yeah, it's somewhere around here. It's definitely down like there. And it's aggroed to me. I just can't see it. So that's something we'll have to deal with when we go down there. So first things first, let's get this one done. We'll do this one first. Since it's the one that's already set up. And then we'll do the other one. So let's see here. First things first, let's get rid of this constructor. That get in there. This belt. We're just gonna take all the belts out. Because we have to do like splitters and like one splitter will be enough. And if we set it up right, we should only need one splitter with some Mark 1 belts. And then we can just make it. We can make it be 100% efficient by if we set up. Let's see. 3 of them we would either need to set up to do 40 each. Yeah, I think the 40 each would probably be the best way to do it. Yeah. So we're going to... Yeah, I need... What all does that put me with? Okay, so I'm just going to need a little bit more of everything. Basically. Oh, and do I have enough to go ahead and make a temporary container on me? 8. No, I do not. I'm just gonna grab like 2 stacks of everything, just to be safe. Because we're also gonna need like conveyor poles and stuff like that. Or, we'll grab 1 stack of screws. Bum bum. Huh. The fact that we can hear it right there too means that I've covered up a lot of... At some point I'm just gonna have to like travel underneath the base and just clear out all the enemies that are like really close to the base. I'm gonna wait till I unlock the Xenobasher though, because it's a lot more effective when you have the Xenobasher versus the Zapper. Let's grab those. I think I'm gonna need some rotors. I don't think I need modular frames for any of this. Is that Christmas stuff? Yeah. Okay, anyways, how are all these doing? Yeah, we're good for now. Alright. The goal of this one is to get the smart plates going. We might not today. Most likely I'm just going to do the concrete and get the reinforced plates and rotors going. And I'll skip over. Yeah, I'll skip over doing the brain foundations. Wrong one. There we go. I know they're essentially the same as storage containment. Fact F. I managed to it all fit in my inventory? Okay. Cool. What in the world? Oh, that's okay. I get control. That's right. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft mod packs again, so I'm having to relearn again the controls. Let's keep the concrete out just in case we need it. Let's sort this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back up here. I know it was straight out, but I could have just replaced it. But this way, get to kind of reorganize. See, because that's going to end up an angle no matter what I do. So let's. Oh! You see, I took damage jumping off from there earlier, and then for some reason I didn't this time. Yes, I am aware, clipping. Okay, so let's make this straight. I think that's straight. Put it right there. And that way I can take this, Mark II, bring it down, boom, and then from here, what is it even with, like right here, 7, splitter, and then just put that there. See? There, we didn't even have to change too much. Now, what we're going to do is 3 constructors, which means, what is it? Alt, yeah. Okay, 2. I don't have enough wire. I'm about to not have enough reinforced plates. Let's grab, or that wire cable. Let's go make ourselves some plates. A lot of other Satisfactory creators like skip over a lot of this part, but for me, I don't know. I guess I just enjoy making longer content. I can't remember how many I need for a constructor. I really should have checked. Let's just get 30. That should be enough for all of them, right? If not, we'll make more. Doop doo 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 doop doo doo doop doop doo doo doop. Doo doo doop doo 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 doop doo doop doop. One of these days y'all are gonna catch me singing something like Wellerman. Oh, I only need to, oh yeah, that's more than enough. Okay, so one there. There. Oh! One there. Okay. Now we're going to set all of these up for, let's see, what should be minerals, concrete, and we're going to set it up. I think, if I'm doing that math correctly in my head, because my calculator is almost out of batteries and I keep forgetting to change it. Actually, hold up. I brought up the calculator. Okay, so 45. Hold up. Yeah, 45 over 40. I did that backwards. 40 over 45 equals 0.8 repeating. So maybe 13? Okay, can I just, okay, cool. So 8.888888. 9. Enter. That, theoretically, if we did this correctly, that should get us, yeah, that should get us exactly 40 per minute. Theoretically. I just realized I may be overloading my mic stuff now because I'm not whispering. But yeah, that should be enough now. Let's see here. 88.8889. And we're just going to set it up like that because that's the number of 8s it gives us. 8 point, or wait, not 8%, 88%.8889. So theoretically, if we've done this correctly, that should give us exactly 40 limestone used per minute, which should be just enough to keep up with demand. Should. Whether it will be is an entirely different story. And in fact, it should. I don't know why I did it that way. Alt, up. Oh, no, wrong way. 3. If we do it like this. Again, I really like my neat angles. 1 E power cable. Don't have any wire. Okay. Completely forgot to get wire for those. And what we're going to do with the concrete is we're going to set it up that the storage is like right there. So that way we can bring the other concrete like under the iron there, bring it around up a little bit and then into the top half. So we're going to do 2 of them. Because we need a lot of concrete to move forward with a lot of this. It's just the way things are. So there's not really like a good like uniform place to put this, is there? So we're just gonna put it like right. Actually, let's do it on this side, because it'll probably look neater on this side. There. Pop. 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 Alright, now we should be able to get the actual numbers from here. Perfect. See, there's a method to my inane ramblings of madness. Now, let's take storage container. Let's see, I said it was 1, 2, 3. We're gonna make it like right there. We're gonna put 2 of them high. I can clip with those, right? That goes straight through that container. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we may have to move this one a little bit closer to this one. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. So 1 power line we're gonna take from here. This one here. Boom. Boom. And boom. So that's all full up. That one's all full up. And now, what we can do is do that and then remove this. Because I have a feeling that one's going to need an extra connection at some point. This one here. Because when I move this isn't going to be a viable pole anymore. So what I really should do is I should just connect that one to that one. And then I'm going to have to reorganize all my power lines over here. So having this one act more as the true divider and just connect those two would probably be better. I know it adds a little bit of bad wire control over here, but it makes sense for what's needed, at the very least. Makes sense for what's needed. See, that's already dividing up perfectly. Now we actually need to get stuff in here so we can make use of that being divided so perfectly. Anyways, so merger. We are going to go with the center of this. Yep, perfect. Go with Mark 1s. Now these, I don't think I'm going to need Mark 2s for these because they are 15 each. There are only 15s being produced per minute. Once they get all the stuff that's already been produced out, or 13 per minute, really. So we're only getting, what's that, 36 a minute? I mean, compared, that's over double what we were getting with the 15 per minute we were getting previously. So, still better ratio than what we had. Even then, just on a 60 belt, once all this stuff gets caught up, it should get caught up. It should still be outpacing it. Let's see. Or is it not? It's not. Let's see if we do this, because these do 60 a minute, right? Let's see if we bump that up to be double, because right now they're going at full throughput. So eventually, yeah. So eventually what we'll see is that 36 a minute, or a little bit over 36 a minute. See what's coming through? Yeah, there we go. Speaking of, let's actually grab, let's go back and grab the concrete from here. Put it in here so that way, yeah, see, so that middle one's done, that one's done, that one's done. So yeah, now, once all of this slows down again, you should be able to change this back to a Mark 1. Okay, so that means what, 3 E because that was Mark 2. Okay, there. That'll be much better representative of what we have going on. That's why I usually have all this set up before I turn everything on. That's a prime example of why. So this actually is going to look very similar to what we would get if we were just sending 45 through a minute, because you have that gap that would normally look like just one piece. Now it looks almost like it could fit 2 there, because reasonably speaking that's close to what you would actually have with this number. But this is still like perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to double this and end up with a total of 72 a minute, because we're going to go set up the one over there. Now the one over there, I am definitely going to get completely set up before I turn it on, because God, I don't want to have to deal with balancing that. I mean, reasonably speaking, we could also set up like a series of mergers and splitters to kind of balance all out. God. Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with those splitters at some point. So let's see, do I actually have enough material to build all this? I think I do. I don't have enough. I don't think I have enough tier 2 belts or reinforced plates. So let's go do. Well, actually, do I have enough? Do I have enough for a crafting bench? Hold up. Do I have enough for a crafting bench? Can I do? Yes. Okay, I'm just gonna build the crafting bench over here, so we don't have to make like 10 trips to the crafting bench. And I'll pick it back up before we leave. And I'm about to have to go down there and beat up some spitters. I would prefer to wait till I have the basher, but yeah. Anyway, so I think the best way to face them is if I just go ahead and face the constructors this way and put them right here. This will ultimately, well, actually put them one further up so I can actually have space to put the splitter and not have to get wonky with belts. Not perfect, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll leave it for now. How bad does it look on this side? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Just so you know, I had little to no plan for the concrete until literally when I said, "This is how we're gonna do it," a minute ago. So, all of this is improv. You get to see, this is more realistic to how I actually do the gameplay a lot of the time. Like, I'll plan the numbers I need out and everything, but I rarely plan designs and everything. Like, what you guys saw last time was probably the most in-depth I ever get with my planning. And that's a rarity. It's becoming more common as I get better at these types of games, but... Oh, nope, wrong one. And I don't have any concrete for posts. I put all the concrete up. Okay. Coding overloaded. Consider turn. OBS just gave me some sort of warning saying that coding lag is. Coding's overloaded. Which, I mean, I'm recording at 60 frames a second. So, we're supposed to be. My game's running at like 70 or 100. According to the statistics on my monitor. You see them flashing every once in a while up on screen. Which it's actually, yeah. That little green number at the top right that you see occasionally flashing on, because it's not always recorded on OBS. If you manage to catch it, if you pause the video and see it, that is the frames per second my game is running at. So currently Satisfactory is the only game that actually shows me that, for whatever reason, with the settings on my computer. I guess it's just the only game that I have set up to do that. Okay, so let's try it this way. There we go. Okay, and then do this, because that'll give us our best distribution. Just ignore the spitters at this rate. Just ignore the spitters. Okay, so that should be set up correctly now. So now we need the merger, which we can put closer. I think we're gonna put not that close. We'll give it some space. I'm gonna do that. And this. Aim it correctly. There we go. Go ahead and pick this up because I don't. So now we're doing the fun part. We can actually just stick with these. You know what? Actually, yeah. You know what? So we're gonna make this one stack high. We're gonna keep it consistent, so we can still run under it. That will give us enough to comfortably move that. So we're gonna move up the center here. What is that? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. 4's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no, that's 3. Okay, this is 4. Then we go up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Save 1, 2. Well, make it even. Then comes the part where we need to get it lined up with these guys. So, since it's right there, we can move it here. Here, I think, is the line I need. Would be there. Let's test it. I'm gonna have to take this out either way because it's gonna be backwards, but okay. Cool. So then we take this one and we go here. There, right? That one's too far away. Whoa. Okay. I'm glad it was like really short fall. Actually, yeah, if we go right there, we should be good. Just making sure all my stuff's overlapping the clipping maker with. What would it be overlapping with? There's nothing for it to overlap with there. Overlapping others clearing. Oh, it's the stacked poles. That's it. That's all it is. It's the stacked poles. Just gonna funnel this all the way through here, and we're gonna have it cross under here to maintain its spacing. Oh wait, I forgot to anchor this side. And then right here. I have a little bit of spaghetti going on, but not enough for us to be worried about. Now this one I'm going to bring up because if I've done it correctly. Oh heck yeah. Alright, and then bring this one down to here so that goes up. That should be as bad as the spaghetti's gonna get. Like just minor like crossing and diverting like that. But it should still make sense. Now, let's go back and let's connect this to the actual splitter. By the way, does this have enough connectors open? I think it does. We're just going to run the power from that pole down to the bottom. I don't know why it's saying clipping may occur. I think it's just the stack poles. God, that's gonna get on my nerves. But yeah, this looks good. This looks like it's enough. And it's not that poorly organized either. We can easily feed stuff around this if we need to like really get spaghetti going. So now let's just bring this over. We're gonna run it down this side of this. Now it's a little off angle, but you know what? Consider I'm about to run this basically all the way down here. There. And then that's basically all I need to do this. Oh. Oops. Okay, so y'all didn't see that. There we go. Oh, these aren't even selected. Okay, so okay, so we shouldn't have the same issue we had. Well, they're going to be spaced a little bit weirder. They're not going to be as clean on this one. unless I literally do exactly what I did with the other one and like force them to get in sync. I don't like that. I don't like that that's what's going on here. But without like ripping this all up and resetting the entire thing, that's as good as I'm gonna get. Actually, it looks like now that they're all running, it actually looks cleaner because they're all like spaced evenly. And yeah, there's like 2 or 3 spitters down there. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna ride up with here, make sure there's no like disturbances in how it runs. Now we are probably gonna have to hop off when it gets to going in between the stack poles. It may not let us. So we're just gonna chill. And we're gonna talk. Or I'm gonna talk. So the next thing we're gonna need to do, this is gonna take a lot longer than I expected. Once we get under the other one, I know we're good, but so let's see, the next things we need to do are set up the foundations. The foundation expansion that I was talking about, and we're gonna extend it towards that pillar directly in front of us right now. Is the direction we're gonna go. Was that north? Yeah, we're gonna go north. With our first expansion, we'll go west and down a little bit for the quartz. Because I'm not worried about doing the quartz immediately. I just want to get it done before, like around the time we do coal power. Because first things we're gonna do once we get after we get smart plating is we're going for coal power. I really need it, so we're gonna take like 2 or 3 of the coal nodes down there. Whatever ends up being half the total production. Because I'm gonna look up like what those purities are and everything. So whatever ends up being half that total production, we're gonna do that in coal power, and we're gonna devote the other half to steel, because I'm pretty sure there's some iron nodes down there that we don't have to worry about. Yeah, this is what, like, we can do this and stay under it, but yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, it looks like it's all working. Speaking of which, what does that turn our power load into? How much does that add? Oh, okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's only like 1/10 of our total power production that we can have at a time. Yeah, if we have all of our stuff going. So yeah, this will be good for now. All of our iron stuff is just absurdly efficient. This is as efficient as we're going to get concrete right now. And once this gets up here, we'll have like absurdly efficient concrete setup. And I could do some like magic with a merger and a splitter right here, or 2 mergers, 2 splitters, because what I could do is I could take a splitter off the top, merge it down here, and then have a splitter up here merge into the top as well. And that's the splitter that I put over here goes into there, and that would effectively balance it out. Honestly, I would just prefer to have a smart splitter and put a... Since we have smart splitters, there's a whole bunch of other stuff I'm going to be doing. But we need to get to the next tier, and I need to be able to do more with copper plating and caterium, which we could really do with research, but I need to find a caterium node for that. Honestly. So, yeah. I'm also going to be doing a lot more with quartz early on, because I realized that in my original playthrough, or not my original playthrough, like I'm on my like 3rd playthrough, my current main world is, so my 3rd main playthrough. So, on my personal world, I should say, I realized that it is detrimental to wait on quartz. Like, seriously, the reason this setup's so good is because you can get to do a basic quartz setup very early on, and it is so useful to have as much of that unlocked as possible before you get to aluminum, because you need a lot of silica to start off aluminum. And reasonably speaking, once you have the first bit of an aluminum setup done, you can essentially make it self-sufficient, but you need like so much to get it started. that's what inspired me to do the whole Excel sheet that I still haven't finished. I started on it in December, and it's April now, as of recording this video. And I'm still mostly done. I just haven't made much progress. I got Tier 5 is entirely done. Tier 5 is as done as I can make it. So all I need left is like Tier 7 and 8, because I don't think there's like any Tier 6 new items. So I need that. I need the research specific items. I need... what else? Oh, and I need to get my building calculator. How much materials I need for buildings and such. So yeah, that's what I need to do as far as, and I need to figure out how far like one piece of belt goes, elevator statistics and stuff like that. But that's all just, hey, I figured out I need this many of these buildings. Yeah. But I figured out that there's a way I could make it all more efficient by having if I put in a recipe, it'll calculate that out and kick the number back. But that would also mean re-typing out or adding to a lot of previous recipes in order to make it work. And that's not difficult, but it would be so absurdly time consuming that if I'm going to do it, I want to be able to have all the other information first. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab like 3 stacks of concrete just to start with, because we're gonna be like, let's see, it's using 40 per minute and it has stuff stocked up. What I'm going to do, because inevitably this is going to happen anyways, what I am going to do is I am going to put see, even at it being 100% efficient, you see this? Even then, it was already stocking up. So like, that's all 120, that's 120, that's 120. And that's being split up perfectly. So even then, the miner outpaces this. Yeah, so I could like keep doing that until that's done. I'm gonna take the 100 I have on me. In fact, I really should have when I had the 120. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I can go over there and mine the limestone if I need to. Pretty sure I can still reach some of the ore nodes from under the foundations. If not, I can disassemble a foundation real fast. What was it? There's a way to do it. How was it? I'm gonna have to look at how to do the autocraft again. But yeah, let's see. What all do I need for the current foundations? Okay, we need more plates. So let's grab more plates. It's a good thing because they're on our way. But yeah. So what we're most likely gonna do is this one. We're gonna leave. It's kind of our and one, and this one will move to be parts of that. So now, this way we can get what we need. I believe I did 4s. I believe I did 4 meter foundations. I hope I did 4 meter foundations. God damn it. let's see. I'm having to relearn controls. Give me a second. Zoop. About to know. Oh, I did 2 meter foundations. Okay. That's good to know. Ah. I still love that animation. It's like, yeet the materials into space and they will build as you wish. Okay, so we know this is our limit now. Oh, that's gonna give us a lot of space, actually. How many should let me build? Yeah, we're gonna build a framework and we'll fill it in. So that way we know exactly what our limits are. So let's go over here. And yes, we're going to do it this way so that way we make sure everything's even. Because I will overshoot otherwise. See, now we have that marked out. Realistically speaking, if we've done this correctly, we should be able to make it... Oh, that's underneath. I need... There we go. Sweet. This isn't going to be perfect. So really just kind of filling it in. In a minute, I'm fairly certain I'm going to run out of stuff because I'm just kind of haphazardly throwing it all out there. It only shows you the concrete. I think that's because foundations for the longest time were just concrete. Like, I think it was only in update 5 that they made them, you know, 2 different materials. Go. That entire corner's done. This one is so much easier than doing all of that, because all of that was like brain empty, just as far out as you can get it. This one, since I have like hard barriers that I'm wanting to stick to, makes it so much easier. Now we're gonna do the same thing we did with the other side. I really need blade runners. I'm trying to remember how to get blade runners. I think it's the Criterium research tree now that I think about it, which means I need to find a Criterium node as soon as possible. If I want my blade runners, if I want to be my speedy boy again, or speedy gal. I genuinely don't know what sex or gender the Pioneer is, but like, even when you think of like all the breathing apparatuses and stuff, it definitely looks like the Pioneer is female of some capacity. They're born female or whatever. So it's like my personal headcanon that they just sent some random woman down to a planet. It's like, hey, go build a factory and exploit the entire planet's resources for us. Thank you. I think I've mentioned that briefly, but I don't think I ever did the like whole thank you part. Okay, no, it was plates. I needed more plates. Probably gonna need some more concrete too. Bop, 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 bop. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need more concrete. Let's go ahead and grab another couple, like 2 more stacks of concrete. Just to be safe, and like I'm gonna need to keep some materials out. I'm not going to be able to just put them all back up. As much as I would like to. But unless I want to freeze my factory up for no dang reason, it's better to just let it construct and run materials at its own pace. Okay. I generally think for stuff like this, using the thinner, like using the 2-meter ones, makes it feel just better, because the 4-meter ones are like really bulky when you're building out the foundation for a factory. Yes, they make a lot more sense, but by that same token, they also feel too bulky when you end up with giant suspended areas like this. Like if you're building like on the ground, like over there, or like if we were to go down to the very base of this, like down there, 4 meters are fine, because you know, they're being planted on the ground. However, this is like up in the air, suspended by nothing but its own strength. So like the 1 meters feel too flimsy, but the 4 meters feel like overkill. Like they would buckle under their own weight, much less under the weight of the freaking sky elevator anchor sitting in the middle of it. But the 2 meters feel like they're just enough strength to get the job done, but not so bulky that they look like they would just collapse on themselves. Does that make sense? Or am I just crazy? Like, it's an aesthetic thing. Like, the 2 meters are just perfect for me. Now, some people may prefer the 1 meters. They're like, I prefer a nice slim look, but and some people may be like 4 meters. Like, no, everything else is too thin. I only use the 2 and 1 meters when I feel like I need to. Which is fine. Those are perfectly valid opinions to have. It's all about aesthetics, and to me, the 2 meters are more aesthetically pleasing. Same with this like weird wine red coloring. Like this, it's enough to stand out from the environment. Like this doesn't blend in, like basically anywhere on the map except for maybe the red forest, if I ever go build there. But by the same token, it's not like in your face coloration. Like I know a lot of people prefer like bright blues or bright whites in order to make their stuff stand out. But like this to me is just like, I don't know, it's just kind of a chill, moody color. Sorry, I got a coffee before I started recording. Okay, that gives us so much more room to work with. Look at that. Okay, so now that we have the room to work with, our next big thing is we need assemblers for rotors and reinforced plates. Now, I'm obviously going to be splitting up screws 50-50 for this. And then, okay, so let's figure out, okay, how many screws do I have? 120, so I get 480 per minute. Is there anything else I'm going to be using screws for? Let's see. Recipes. Is there anything else that I need screws for currently? Later on, I think there's some other recipes I'm going to need screws for, but I think those recipes I'm going to be using the resources available at those areas to do. I don't have my normal map up because at some point I exited out of it and I just haven't bothered to pull it back up. Because I used to have like the Satisfactory wiki and the Satisfactory resource map up at all times. Like even when I wasn't playing Satisfactory, it was just always there for me to immediately click on. I just haven't put it back up yet. Yeah, because then modular frame and then smart plating. Just do 2 per minute, so it only needs 2 reinforced plates per minute, and this one only needs 3 reinforced plates per minute. So we're gonna be setting up a good bit for that. And then I'm still gonna need extra for like Mark II belts and elevators and stuff like that, and other assemblers. So I still need there to be enough overflow. So like, how many reinforced plates can we make in a minute per assembler? If I can click the right dang thing. 5 per minute. We can make 5 per minute how many rotors can we make a minute? Make 4 per minute. So that's 100 screws per minute there for each one we set up there. And we need a total of 2 per minute, so if we make... okay, so if we devote 200 screws per minute to rotors, that is just 2 assemblers for rotors. And we're going to have plenty of rods left over to devote to other crafting. That's 20 per minute. I'm pretty sure 20 per minute is covered by like these 3. Oh gosh, one of these could cover that. Yeah, because I have them overclocked. One of these could cover that. Okay. That's a non-issue then. Okay, then that leaves us with 280 more. Because that wouldn't even take up both of those. That would take up like that one and like half the production going into this one. So that's gonna leave us 280, which means we could make 40 reinforced. Oh, is what we're looking for. Which means reinforced plates we can make. If that's 5 per minute, let's see. We're needing 280. The easiest way to do that is 240, which is just the other 2, the full production from the other 2. Straight up, because let's see, that's 12. They produce 5 per minute, that's 60. So if we do 4 assemblers for iron plates, and we do 2 for rotors, that should use up most of our screws. Right? Yeah. And then, like, the extra... what's that going to leave us with? The extra 40? The extra 40 will just be overflow. And we'll eventually start using smart splitters to take overflow production to the awesome sink. And we'll eventually make up like a dedicated sink area where we have like 5 or 6 of them in a row that are constantly running with some buffers. Because I find that's the best way to send is like take the max level belt you can possibly put stuff through and just send stuff into the sinks, because they accept at whatever rate the belt's gonna accept, or belt can give you, no matter what. And they never get backed up unless you turn them off. I have been known to put switches on my awesome sinks so I can build up buffers. Okay, so we have... okay, yeah, so we have a plan. Because if we make 4 of those, that's 20 plates a minute. 20 reinforced iron plates per minute. Okay, so we need a total of 6 assemblers to get this setup done. I don't know, we may be able to do this today. Mark all as red, because that's not worth reading all of those. If we do this correctly, we can get all 6 of these done. So let's see here. Alt. Assemblers don't have their own thing, but they're under the constructors, right? Yeah. Okay. Fuck, we don't have enough reinforced plates or rotors to build that. So let's do that. Because we barely used any of the rods that we had. We're just going to grab another stack of those. We're going to grab like 3 more stacks of these. Because we're going to need them. 2, 3. And then we're going to go back over to our crafting table. In fact, you know what? Actually, we're just going to sneak a sneaky little crafting table. That unless you see it in a video, it's our own little secret. It stays right here. secret little crafting table. There's just going to be crafting tables seated all throughout this. Standard parts. Okay, we're going to need, if we need 6 of them total, how many do we have? 10? 6 times 8 is... oh god. Six times 4 is 24. So 48. So we need 48 total. Again, I've demonstrated it in these videos how to do this. What was it? I'll remember eventually, or I'll look it up later, and I'll feel really stupid. Felt really stupid. I hope everyone's having a good day. But everyone's having a really good day. I may not have grabbed enough screws for this. Okay, I think it was like 4. Hold up. We're just gonna look at it here. Okay, yeah, 4 each. I know I have enough cable. So 4 times 6 is again 24. So industrial parts. We're gonna need more screws because of this. We're gonna go ahead and use all these up. So that way we know exactly, or roughly, how many we need. 4, 25, so we need like 100 more. So I can probably get away with just taking like half a stack out. It's like 250. Right, I don't remember, does the right mouse button work for half a stack? There's a way to only move half a stack of something in Satisfactory. I can't remember what it is. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, so a lot of my controls are messed up. See, it's a secret even from myself because I forgot it was here. I shouldn't be laughing at my own jokes. I've gone nuts. Okay, sort so that we have a good idea of what we got. Yeah, this. Okay, we're gonna need more. We're gonna need more plates. We're just gonna make the rest of these plates. Either until we run out of. Yeah. Just because we're gonna need tier 2 plates just to be able to move screws. Especially considering that we're essentially going to need to move the max amount of screws for one side. We're gonna do 75. Yeah, so yeah, so let's see here. So for 2, let's see, 2 of them, 5 per minute, 120, that's 60. Yeah, so essentially what we're going to end up with, because these all produce 120 a minute. Yeah, so essentially we're going to need to move the max amount of screws possible per minute from each one of these into a assembler or to a pair of assemblers. These are going to be split off into pairs. These 2 are just going to run into an assembler directly. And then we're going to have to run these materials over these lines into their respective assemblers. Yeah, so first things first, as always, we're going to mark up where everything's going to get split up. Because if we don't do this first, okay, split splitter. Okay, these two aren't gonna need splitters, but these two are. Do that. And then I think most likely we can fit. If we do it correctly, we can make it so it fits like this. Now, let's go back to the assemblers. Because they take up a little bit over. Yeah, so if we do this there, or maybe I should plan these out before I did. Oops. Yeah, so if we do that and that, because that's direct, so we should be able to. Yeah, those are gonna have to be moved out that way a little bit, but that won't be a problem. God damn it. Okay, come on, line up. There we go. Oh, nope. This one. Hey. No? Okay, is this one at least straight? Yeah, this one's straight. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like this. Okay. I really wish the assembler footprint was. But then again, then it would end up being very close to the manufacturer. Like, I understand what they're doing, because this one, because like the constructor is like one foundation wide, okay? And then the assembler is like basically 1.5 by 2 almost. And then the manufacturer's like 2 by 3 or 4 by 3. Something like that. Without being able to show you the manufacturer footprint directly, I can't remember, but yeah, so like I understand from a design perspective why it's set up this way. And I'm not complaining about the design. The game design in Satisfactory is quite good. As far as how they got everything set up for you. But like stuff like that. It is small things, stuff that I don't want them to actually change, because it's good. It is good. I just don't use it properly sometimes. So like this there, that's what we're looking for. Then that's straight. See, like it's good game design. It's not bad. It's just I'm bad at using it sometimes. So there and there, that's straight. Okay. So, and then we're gonna take. Gosh, how much? Well, let's do this first before I forget. That up, good. Ah, well, it'll fix itself. It will fix itself eventually when it needs to. So when it gets to the point where it needs to fix itself, it'll fix itself. So let's see here. How many plates do we end up making per minute? 20 per minute from each of these. Which mean, and how many are there? 6 of them? Yeah, so realistically speaking, we can take 60 out of each of these, no problem, and just leave that one as our overflow buffer that we like take stuff out of to make belts. With no issues. Like when I say we can do that, I mean literally no issues, because we have 120 going in there and then 60 and 60. So let's see how much we need. Okay, 6 times 4. That's 24. We really only need 24. Well, okay. So 6 times 5. Yeah, 6 times 5. So that's 30. Each of these needs 30 per minute. So 30 times 4 is 120. So we need basically an entire one of those, or we basically need to do what we did here. One for each of them, which is not that difficult if we set it up correctly. So we're going to set up this one first. Okay. Now, in this one, how far up does it go? What's our marker? Alright. And this one, we're going to basically run these to be exactly the same. So they're going to split off and do exactly the same thing. Sorry, I was answering a text. I may or may not cut that out. I'm not sure if it'll be long enough for me to cut out without just causing weird sort of messes. But hey, we'll see. What is it? Oh, yeah. Okay, so basically, we can just go here. You do it like there, I think would work. And then if we just take it like here? Right. Yeah. Okay, and then now splitter. See, and then we just take this, do that, right? Yeah. So again, we can take 60 out of each one of these, and it works perfectly for us. Surprisingly enough. Now I think, do I need to go too high? Hold up. Variable mark 1. Okay, yes I do. Okay, so if that's 4 high, then what we need to do is come over here. I'm gonna set up another one that's 4 high. Like I said, like this type of stuff, early game is probably when we're gonna end up with the most spaghetti-like messes. In this little playthrough, but I'm going to try and keep them like as neat spaghetti as possible. Like over there, it's basically a bus that's spaghetti just because it kind of has to be. And like this, I normally don't build this high, but like that's an exception right there. I normally don't build stuff this high. So. Like, this isn't my base building height. My base building height's like 3 high at most when I build stuff like this. But right here, to keep stuff kind of looking neat and avoid like what we had over there with the concrete, avoid weird angles and stuff, because that was solely because of what was going on with the concrete. Like, we'll make exceptions, but we're not going to make that our rule. So anytime that we can get away with nice flat lines like this, we're gonna take it. And like, reasonably speaking, I could have like right here had an elevator come down and bump it down, but like, where's the fun in that? So yeah, all of these should basically be ready to go now. All they need is power. So we'll set up a, let's see if these are producing like 5 a minute. We'll set up a in fact, you know what? Since I don't have power, now's the time to do this. So let's see, 5 per minute by 4 is like 20. So they'll need like just a bunch of tier 1 belts will be enough to set them up. Did I do all of them? I mean, I know there's only 4 of them, but I feel like I only did 3. Okay, yeah. And like, they're not even gonna accept items, so they'll only be delayed so far as it takes us to set up power to them. So the next thing to do is get those 2 set up to go to... It's gonna take some weird elbowing, but get those 2 set up to go to a couple assemblers. So we need 2 more assemblers. And we're gonna get all this set up, and we're gonna do the power all at once for this. So what we're gonna do is we're actually only going to we're going to displace them as far as we basically displace the pairs over here. Let's kind of keep things simple. Yeah, I think that's about right. I'm not gonna make it perfect. I'm gonna make it enough that it's like aesthetically pleasing. So like, let's see. Yeah, that's about the same amount of space. It's not the same like type of spacing. Yeah, that's about the same amount of space. It's close enough. So now we need to take essentially 1 for 1 line from here, and then we need to take rotors. How much do rotors need per minute? They need 20 per minute. So if each one needs 20 per minute, we can take from one of these, because yeah, we discussed this earlier. We can take from one of these, because that's 90 per minute from each of those. And in fact, if we've done it correctly, we'll most likely not even need to take from the other one for the modular frame. Because how much do modular frames need? Nope. Not what I meant to do. How much do modular frames need? As far as... Okay, they make 2 per minute. So... Okay, we have total 20 total reinforced plates we're making per minute. Which means if we even do it to where it's like... Well, it also depends on how many rotors we have. So if we do it to a point where we have... We're using... Let's say 12 reinforced... We do like 3 modular frames and 3 setups for smart plating. That will, because we're going to need rotors for other things later. I think all of this, like as far as crafting goes, all the reinforced plates we need to set up. But even if we use the modular, because we're going to need the we're going to need rotors for you mix them with, let's see, you get rotors and stators together, and I think that makes motors. Granted, again, that may be a whole separate factory, so we may not even have to worry about it, but having the extra rotors, that's a good early sync item. Once we get smart splitters, which shouldn't be too much. Once we get smart splitters, if we can get... That's like a good early sync item. They don't sync for a whole lot, they aren't like the best. But as far as early items having a good excess to sync, rotors are actually really good. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, so let's focus on this first. So, should I filter these over and then just bump this up with an elevator and take this over, or should I bump those up with elevators and bring them over? Because this one I'm going to have to split. So let's leave the one we're going to have to split on the ground. We'll bump those up and bring them around. That rhymed. Uh-oh. Oh no. Rhyme gods have cursed me. Get out of my head, Apollo. I'm pretty sure I've just insulted a Hellenist somewhere. Not that I wanted to insult a Hellenist. I actually really enjoy the mythology of Hellenistic tradition. So I would never willingly insult a Hellenist. I'm pretty sure I insulted a Hellenist by invoking Apollo, and I'm sorry. But he was, if I remember correctly, the god of theater and poetry was part of his deific domain, so I feel justified in claiming that he was the one that cursed me to make rhymes randomly. Although I'm not sure what I would have done to insult Apollo. This is assuming he exists. I'm not religious or anything, but I believe in some level of mysticism. I do not believe in traditional gods, but I do believe that there is supernatural. My justification for that belief is the supernatural is merely the natural we have not explained. So in order for something to be supernatural, it just has to be unexplained by our current understanding of science. So, yeah. So like, as an atheist and as a skeptic, I cannot rationalize certain events. And because I do not understand them, I claim for them to be supernatural, because they're outside my understanding of the natural world. Does that mean that necessarily it's unexplainable by some level of science that has been done and I'm just ignorant to it? That could certainly be the case, and I will always remain open to learning about new scientific discoveries and ways that we can learn more about the world around us. But if I cannot explain something in the moment, I claim for it to be supernatural, because outside my natural understanding. And while I would never expect anyone to subscribe to that thought process or belief system, I would suggest that anyone who is skeptically minded at least consider that position when thinking about the possibilities of the universe, or when addressed with supernatural phenomenon they cannot explain. So things like miracles, things that are attributed to any sort of deific belief, or things like ghosts or other supernatural phenomenon, I would highly suggest that even if you are skeptical of said phenomenon, you do not rule them out merely because you do not understand what is happening. If you can prove without 100% of a doubt that whatever you are experiencing is in fact something scientific that you can, without refute, prove, by all means take that approach. Because I believe that should be the state of mind. It's like, always try and prove before you believe it is something outside of the natural world. But do not claim that something is solely not true just because it has no proof. Because in doing so, you are limiting yourself to several biases that can end up being detrimental to actual discovery. So yeah, welcome to my TED Talk. We will never be able to discover what is actually supernatural or anything outside of our natural understanding if we are not open to considering the supernatural in and of itself. And I full-heartedly believe that. Man, I am just really misjudging my how many reinforced plates I need. And before anyone starts saying something, no, I'm not some crazy conspiracy theorist. I believe in crazy conspiracies as far as I believe in aliens and ghosts and stuff. It's like, the evidence is there, quote unquote, for some conspiracies. quote unquote. They are interesting and they are fun thought experiments in a lot of cases. For example, if you check out Armored Skeptic's History is a Lie series, it is a fascinating way to look at the world. And even he, in numerous occasions, says, hey, yo, a lot of this is me speculating, or a lot of this is me finding these tidbits of evidence, and he welcomes people to be skeptical of every claim he makes in that series, because that's the point. The point is he is trying to not only teach how to be skeptical, but also he expects people to be skeptical of not only claims that he makes, but also claims that other people make about what is being said. For example, he makes the themes that he has been discussing most recently involve the themes around a character known as the Green Man, and the Green Man being the easiest way to associate him with any sort of mythology. The Green Man is Pan. He's Hearn. He is the god of the wilds, or the god of essentially order amongst chaos. He is... God, I'm trying to think of like good ways that people would know that aren't familiar with Greg's work, that aren't familiar with the Armored Skeptic's work, and familiar with his series he's been doing. So yeah, but he's making the connection between the Green Man, Jesus, and a bunch of other figures. I think Santa was one of them. And a lot of the connections he's making they're there, flat out. Like, it's not up to debate whether or not the connections can be made. The connections are there. It is whether or not you're willing to think about those connections, whether or not you're willing to consider them as possibilities is ultimately where you sit when you engage with that kind of thought process. Like I said, you don't have to accept those things. In fact, Greg himself actively discourages people from taking his word at 100% face value. Like, so you should always be skeptical of anyone who makes such claims, including myself, including Greg, or including any other people online that make similar claims. But a lot of these groups, a lot of the people that think this way and even consider these possibilities are they're very scientifically minded. And that's why I say, if you can't prove something with science, consider it supernatural until such a time as you can prove it. And as far as science has proved, the Earth is round, evolution happened, vaccines work, science has proven these things. So they are natural. They are part of the world as we understand it. Does that mean that there aren't other things out there that we just don't understand yet? Like Bigfoot, like ghosts, extraterrestrials? Yeah, there's too many unexplained phenomenon that we haven't truly disproven, that we haven't 100% without a shadow of a doubt said, this is what happened, these claims are false. So yeah, it's like there's too many inconsistencies in a lot of these things. So until we can 100% disprove all these things, we need to consider that they might be real, if even just for peace of mind. Because I don't know about you, but even as an atheist, even as someone who doesn't believe in a god, believing that there's nothing supernatural in the world freaks me out more than not believing in a deity. Because in believing that there's no supernatural, it means that there is nothing it means humanity has essentially found everything we can find. And that thought scares me, because the moment that humanity can find no more, can explore no more, has truly locked ourselves into a box, it's the moment humanity refuses to advance anymore, and refuses to make new iterations and improvements, and loses part of what made humanity what it is our ingenuity and our willingness and ability to adapt to the world around us. So, for the sake of human advancement, the supernatural is real. I don't know why I went off on this tangent playing Satisfactory, but I guess that's it, the mood I'm in today. It's funny because I'm doing mindless tasks, and these are the types of speeches I give myself when I'm doing mindless tasks in video games. And this is the first time one of those is going out into public, and I'm kind of scared of what's going to happen. I really hope I didn't invite a lot of people who are going to make a lot of very inaccurate claims to my YouTube channel, because, yeah, if you're going to use anything I just said to try and prove any sort of racist or homophobic narrative, you can get the fuck out. Just go away. I don't want you here. No one needs you here. If you're going to be that person, get the fuck out. Just to cover my bases. I don't want any of you here. So yeah, if you're gonna go that far, go away. Beyond that, anyone else, I welcome with open arms to address anything I just said, or to take, if you have any, thoughts about what I said. I don't need. Yeah, it's 5 per minute. I don't know why I was thinking they were 20 per minute. But if you have anything else to say about what I've said, or you want to try and go against what I've said, or you want to do anything like that, so long as you're not going to use any bigoted rhetoric to do it, or any racist or bigoted dog whistles, fine. I welcome any challenge to my worldview, because, again, based on what I said, if we truly believe that we have solved all life's mysteries, we have doomed ourselves to not being able to advance anymore, not being able to move forward in the world anymore, which is what terrifies me, because at that point I believe we have lost our humanity if we cannot progress forward. I don't know why I'm in such a heavy mood today, or philosophical mood. Like, I'm a philosophical person. I like I like stuff like that. I like thinking like that. But dang, I think that's the first time I've ever truly put those thoughts on the internet. I think I've mentioned them briefly before, but I think that's the first time I've ever said, "Yo, hey, here's my thoughts on this. Take it or leave it." Okay, I think that's, yeah. I think that's good enough to bring power to it. Now, here's going to be the issue. We are either going to be perfectly fine, or about to have a power failure. Should probably start over here. Let's see, do I have space right here? Okay, I do. So we're gonna bring power forward from this one. Maybe I should treat this Let's Play kind of like a podcast. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to pick a subject to talk about while I do this and have my fun. Okay, so really that one is our open end. I hope at the very least everyone who heard that at least enjoyed it, as far as like, oh hey, that's an interesting outlook on life, or oh hey, this guy sounds insane. When I say I'm a philosophical person, I'm not saying like, I'm not saying I'm like some sort of expert. I'm saying that just mentally, that just from like my perspective on the world, I tend to be very philosophical. I tend to like to think about the world a lot. Let's see, these should be in sync, so we should get 1, 2. Yep. Alright, and what about reinforced plates? We should get something similar going on over here. We should have basically 2. We should have like 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so maybe those were just the first 2 that came through. 1, 2, 3. Is one of these not powered? What's up with this one? Is it not getting stuff? Did I forget to connect? Oh, shit. I'm pretty sure someone's already left comments about that. Dude. No, it's not there. Jeez. Great, so that one's gonna be off now by a lot. So what's supposed to be basically 4 of them, it's not gonna be 4 of them anymore. That's gonna bug me. Oh well, it's still the same amount per minute, it's just not going to be as organized as I would like. And we're going to have the random 1, so we're going to have 2, 1. It's already done 20. So I mean, anyways, how does this look on our power consumption? Because that should kick, this is going to kick a lot of stuff on. Okay, so we have... Yeah, and then a lot of our capacity. Okay, so that means a lot of our biofuel generators can be running at like almost max output now. Yeah, which means we're gonna have to be really careful when setting up the smart plates thing. So we may have to. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to trip a breaker. Because everything may be running fine at the moment. What we may have to do is we may have to wait for the concrete to finish, to give us that little bit of wiggle room that we need. Yeah, let's see here. Caterium. Yeah, like we need to get down this tree because I think it's like around here. I think this one gets us. We need power switches, which we need caterium for. But in order to get power switches, we need AI limiters. AI limiters are made with copper sheeting and caterium wire, quick wire, which means we need a caterium node. But that also means we need to redo our copper setup, which ultimately means we just need to set up more biofuel things and just book it to coal. I mean, that's really what we need to do, because let's see, it's not even going to show us the next. Yeah, we really just need to book it to coal right now. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 wide. If I had 2 more, that'd be 12 more. But that would bump us up to around 800. It wouldn't be a perfect 800 because it's really like 340 because these are both producing 20 as well. Yeah, so what we really need to do, is bump this up, and we just need to go for coal as quickly as possible. Bump this up, get that set up, get the smart platings in, and then just book it to coal. I think that will be our best option. Because once we get coal power running, I can get us a buffer of like 20,000 megawatts. Or not 20,000, 2,000 megawatts. To play around with to get the copper stuff set up. And then we can most likely make it to... And then we can get steel set up, and then we can most likely make it to oil without any major issues. Maybe. Hopefully, possibly. Yeah, I think... Let's see, this is almost 2-hour recording. This right here is going to be enough for an episode. Just doing that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this recording here. This will be my next episode. I'm going to stop this recording here. And then we are going to AFK, kind of let everything get filled up. So that way we can minimize our actual consumption. And I am going to build some more biomass generators here. And then I am going to harvest some more plants and stuff, get some more biofuel ready. Get some more biofuel ready. Maybe clean up. This needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Maybe clean up my power grid a little bit. Let's see, how much do these consume? It's only 3. So what is that? 9.9 for each one, and then that's 19.8 total, plus whatever's coming out of the miners. So pretty soon I'm about to be able to double what comes out of these miners, because I think in the next tier we get Mark II miners. God, that's loud. Yeah, we get Mark II miners during the next one. And that means that a lot of these are going to be able to get bumped up anyways. Oh god. I'm definitely not going to want to bump these up to Mark IIs because that's going to make this a lot more complicated. And I think I'm going to leave this alone, and what I may do is if I do bump them up to Mark IIs, I will actually siphon off all of those resources into a separate, like create a whole nother separate production line explicitly for those extra resources, and essentially mirror this on that other production line. So that way we can move forward. And heck, setting a Mark II on the iron and just bringing coal up here, I could do steel from there. The copper, I could easily just double what I'm going to do with the copper, because I know I'm going to need a lot of it later on for other things. The concrete, the limestone's really only good for concrete. Like you can do some stuff with it if you get the right alternate recipes, but it's mostly only good for concrete. Yeah, what I think I'll do is I'll let this all max out, buffer up, because the more I max it out, the more stuff that's in each of these buffers, the more I can pull from. But like, see that right there? Like, I love watching this stuff work at max efficiency. But like you get small little, the machines get like small little breaks when stuff's maxed out, and you have maxed out efficiency. So eventually, like this stuff will eventually max itself out to the point where, yeah. Jeez, it's already at 182, so that's not bad. That's already at 80. And this is like the best setup I've ever had, and I don't think I've ever had more than 2 assemblers for rotors. But I think it's the first time I've ever had 2 assemblers or rotors working at 100% capacity the first time I put them down. I think this is like taking me a few tries to do. Or like 100% efficiency. And I think this is the first time I've been able to run them, like really run them off the biofuel. Like I think I've only ever been able to like get up to the smart plating. And I'll be able to do like really good with smart plating. And in fact, what I may do is I may go ahead and set that all up, and then we'll just activate it next time. Like I'll show you what's going on. We'll activate it, and we'll let it do its thing while we get set up and figure out where we're going to get coal from. Actually, we're going to need next episode is going to primarily be copper anyways. We'll do the smart plating, we'll do the copper next episode. We'll do both of those next episode. I may go ahead and, or I may do the copper. No, we need to prioritize smart plating. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get it set up. I'll get the biofuel set up. I'm not going to power this side. In fact, I won't even connect it up to here. I'll just plan it out. So that way y'all can see how it all functions. And I may go ahead and record that today. And I'll just edit it. I'll edit this one, upload it, and I'll edit the other one and upload it as we have time. Because I can get it all done this afternoon, but it's just going to be like 6 hours of recording. Because I'm moving pretty fast. Like, for me, I'm moving pretty fast getting all this done. Because I think, what is this, hour, like, what, 16? Yeah. We're almost an hour 17 of this world. And I am about to, like, in the next 3 to 4 hours, be able to complete phase 1. Which is fast for me. Like, normally in the first 20 hours, I've barely gotten to this point, or it's still working like insanely inefficiently, and I'm gonna have to rebuild it at some point. But like, by the same token, I have little to no copper production. Like, I only have enough to barely keep myself afloat. I have low power production, stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna double our power output. I'll let everything fill up, so that way it's as full as possible. And so that way the concrete isn't getting in our way. And I'll have everything set up, so that way all I need to do is hook it up on the next recording, which I should do later this afternoon. And then this will all either be one video edited together, if I can cut off enough dead space. I may cut off enough dead space. Or this will be 2 separate videos, and y'all will get my philosophical rants. Yeah. That being said, say tentative out. Bye for now.